COVID, what was important to me was having contact with my friends and being with my family, and also having contact with my day centre.
Having the phone calls and like having team meetings, and like just having like the Keyring WhatsApp group where you can like phone the members each week and just to see how they all are. So that was like really important to me, to support.
It was hard going because it was hard going because it was for me. It was a nightmare because I was isolated, and really what is I was cooped up in a room, and I didn't have much. I needed the air, unfortunately, and the only air I could get was to go to the window, and I just couldn't stand it in there. I was desperate to get out because it was driving me mad because I was locked. It was like in the room I was in. I felt like I was in prison. Felt like I was locked up in some room, and I was really glad to get out.
I couldn't get out, and I couldn't. None of the shops was open, and everything was desolate. Everybody just seemed to stay indoors, and nobody called anybody. I was quite isolated. I couldn't get out because of my health conditions, so it was just boring. And I put on weight because of staying indoors, because you just comfort eat as well. So although my cats kept me going, but then come life in community and made things better for me.
Being stuck indoors and not having anything to do, that was really hard, and I felt it started to impact on my mental health.
To be fair, the government need to be more clarified what the rules are, because for people who learn disabilities, it was quite hard because you just like spoke jargon, and for me, I found it very, not for me, but for some people who learn disabilities, confusing, because some members didn't know what the rules were, and so I think for me, more clarification, and probably more support from more support from the local authorities as well, actually sending a letter and just explaining it more, like pictures or words explaining the rules, what actually it is, because I think that was really hard.
It's for the day services to increase my hours, because at the minute I'm only getting 3 hours at each centre, which is not good really, because each time I ask a member of staff here what's going on with the hours, they always say we're looking into it, or it's staying the same as it is for now. And I just think, what's the point? We're in a better place than we were, so why not just increase the numbers?
What helped me stay safe? Protecting myself. When I went anywhere, if I was told when I went travelling, I would wear a face covering. I always wear a face covering. If anybody told me wherever I went, I would put a face covering on. I protected myself like that, but the only thing I didn't do was I didn't have any injections. I didn't bother to do that. I didn't protect myself with injections, but I used a face covering, and unfortunately, because I didn't protect myself with injections, that's what put me in hospital. That's what put me in hospital last year, because they said to me, but the nurse said to me in hospital, somebody gave you COVID.
What helped me stay safe and well during COVID was adhering to the rules and regulations and not put myself in danger, and listening to what the government was saying, basically. So I didn't break any of the rules by being careless. So I stayed in as much as I could, always wore my masks at all times,